No. As the sun does not wait for prayers and incantations to be induced to rise, but immediately shines and is saluted by all, so you do also not wait for clapping of hands and shouts and praise to be induced to do good. But be a doer of good voluntarily, and you will be beloved as much as the sun. My name is Herna.
This is Harris.
And this is the Power of 8 Show, Episode 3.
So what does that mean to you? That was from the Enchiridion.
As always. Definitely got to start picking from some other books, but I read that this morning too, and it's just like, it was...
just spoke to you?
It really did. And I would say... So I thought about it, right? And I'm not like needing to like kiss my own ass or do some shit like that. I'm just saying it like this. Like,
yeah.
There's a homeless guy outside yesterday.
Okay.
Of the shop. I was closing up. Me and the other apprentice were getting out of there, and he was just chilling there. And I just saw it like, oh well, I made some money that night.
Yeah.
You know, so I had an extra $5 in my pocket. I'm like, you know what? Like, no one needs to see this, but like, and who cares like how he ended up like that? But
yeah.
I'm sure no matter what in life, he could use $5 right now. So
right.
I just stepped out there. I saw him chilling underneath the roof, and so I gave him some, $5.
Right.
But I didn't need anyone watching, you know?
Yeah, didn't need to seek the praise.
Exactly, dude. It's like for a lot of people, and I've done it too, I feel like, you know, so definitely not guilty of it, but more so trying to get better at the fact of like, just do good, do the right thing and do good without needing others to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like constantly staying on your shit about like, hey, no matter if no one's watching or not, I still have to like, right. I still have to show up and do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. So
see, I like that because like what I get from it is it says like be like the rising sun, and once it rises, it's going. You know, It doesn't wait for praise or anything like that. And I see that more like a lot of times people do things for that simple praise. You know, oh, I wanted somebody to be there so that I can, get whatever from it. You know, and I don't think that you don't need anybody there. You can seek that praise, that glory, all by yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to have an additional person to go with you to do things. Do it yourself. Rock that shit. Wake up. Kill it all by yourself. You don't need somebody there to pat you on the back and say, well, good job. You can do that by yourself. So I like that.
Yeah, it's super important. And like, you can make a point, too, to, like... to make sure your boss at work, your mentor, whoever kind of does see you do the work. Yeah. But just to show them, like, hey, I'm fucking here and I'm still doing it.
Right.
But also on the fact that, like, take it, because they need to see that shit too, I think, and sometimes. But it's not everyone needs to see that you...
Exactly.
Or you're this great fucking thing. Uh-huh. You definitely got to have confidence in yourself. And
That's true.
Sometimes I get the back end of it because people might think I'm probably a cocky motherfucker sometimes. But so be it. But it's like, definitely, for the most part, just... do the right thing when no one's looking. Exactly. And I could never understand that when I was in the Marine Corps, but in retrospect now, it's like, oh, hey, like, I can see what they mean by that type of shit. And it's just like, hey, that's some really important stuff, bro.
That's true. Sometimes people have to see you accomplish a task to be like, hey, they're doing it, but no. Yeah. Just, if you're always doing it, you'll always be doing it,
Yes. You gotta suffer a little bit. So
right on. So how's the week been, good sir?
It was
a weird week, man.
It was a weird week in the beginning. I would say like, I think like Monday night through Friday morning, dude. I felt like out of a funk.
Right.
And this kind of like, I guess then I'll just move to like the highs and lows then.
All right. Yeah.
Because I was telling my friends at the shop, like I was telling her like, yo, like. This week's been kind of weird. She's like, oh yeah, what do you mean? It's like, well, it's like this week, I got critiqued on my tattooing, and it wasn't like something you really always want to hear. Yeah. But it's something that is needed to be heard. Right. And it can kind of like, it's still gonna get to you in a certain way, but you got to take it and like create energy out of that shit. Got to harness the power of like that criticism, bro. And so that kind of weirded me out. I just didn't feel like super me energy. Maybe it was like not having the endorphins from doing a half marathon every day.
Or so, I don't know. It's funny.
You know?
Almost the exact same thing happened to me while I was working. Like just weird, like almost like that criticism got to you, and it just put this weird vibe on the week, almost like a funk, but it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was a weird little vibe.
It was just weird. But I still consider it almost like a plateau or low. Because most of the time it's like, oh, I'm in it. I'm in the energy no matter what. And we can even have like a pretty like, oh, what the fuck week. Yeah. But still like, or what the fuck kind of hour or day, and just still like attack it. Right. Like extremely good. Yeah. But, yeah, you fall into these highs and lows, man. Yeah. And then that's the reality of nature.
Yeah, sometimes you do get really, really, really good vibes going, but for every good vibe that you got, you have a low vibe that's going to come creeping its way back in. You know, it's weird, but you said something about, like, plateaus, and like, a lot of times, it just kind of...
Here, hold on.
Right on.
Sorry, gotta...
No, we're good, we're good.
There for a second. You were saying...
Yeah, we're like, plateaus come, dude, and like a lot of times everybody's searching for like this regular high, you know, like, oh man, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, everything is on the rise, and then sometimes you get these weird lows where just shit sucks, man. Like, I'll be the first to say that just sometimes shit just outright sucks, you know what I mean? But not every time do we ever really give that much light to those weird little flatline plateau moments where it's not good, but it's not bad, you know. Those are necessary as well, too. That shows that you're growing, you know, because you're not always just going to be on a steady rising progression. You've got a flat line at some points, you know what I mean? And they're weird, and I mean, I can say that they're not common, but they're definitely there.
Do you feel like for you that it's been a vital, like, importance in your life to have those plateaus?
I think so, because it goes to, like, what I was saying, like, with my little reality check. Is that sometimes when you're on a rise, you almost feel a little overconfident in cases, you know, where you feel comfortable, you're killing it, everything is on the rise, nothing is wrong, you know. And every now and then you do need like a flatline moment where you're like, okay, yes, I'm doing good, but I could do better. And you have to flatline to know, like, to establish your new foundation, you know, because like I think when I think of a foundation, I think of a flat line, you know what I mean? And you can only build on an appropriate foundation. So you have to be able to flatline at points to know, like, yes, I got here, this is where I'm at. Now that I realize where I'm at, the caliber of the work that I can do, I need to be able to seek something new, set a new goal. That. Exactly, you know. So I do think that they're definitely vital to growth, to show essentially where you're at. You know, sometimes you gotta be knocked off your climb and just be like, okay, all right, I need to. This is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. But I need to, you know, perfect my shit before I start adding more.
It definitely is very humbling, though, too.
It is, man.
You know, if you have those plateaus and you're getting the criticism and you're feeling like crap and you're not well rested, it really helps you take a step back.
Absolutely, because I mean, like, sometimes criticism can come across as a very good thing.
Oh yeah.
Which for the most part it can be, but every once in a while somebody like some shit comes along your way and it just like just fuels you full of rage because you're just like, what the F, bro? I'm giving my all, I'm doing my best, and you're still talking shit on me, you know? And it's like, well, yes, but no, you know? So, I mean, like, it's frustrating at points, but, like, for the most part, you gotta be able to humble yourself, get those little reality checks to know that, like, okay, I got here. This is the caliber of the work that I can accomplish, and I'm good at it, but once I perfect this, I'll be able to take so much more on, and then even, you know, ascend to a higher level. So I think that they're extremely vital. They're kind of shitty. They have a bit of a weird taste, you know, but they're absolutely necessary.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think the same thing, man. I think because for like the longest time, let's say, okay, let's backtrack to my life, right?
Yeah.
About almost 2 years ago, or maybe, you know, say a year and a half, 2 years ago, around that time frame, you know, young Herna. Fucking, I want to say it would be those weeks, and I couldn't figure it out. Almost, it was almost like you're trying to figure out something, but the answer was there, which is I would have these 2 weeks where I would feel like, damn, bro, I'm crushing it, I'm killing it, I'm on my shit, and then third week comes, you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Right.
I'm no longer killing it. I'm no longer at a happy 10 all the time.
Yeah.
What's going on? For the longest time, and I remember I had this like conversation with like a couple buddies one time where, you know, we were just chilling at his house, just another conversation, you know, critical thinking and going back and forth on like, how do we figure this out? When in reality, that is the figuring it out.
Yeah.
Is you have to be totally okay. What I literally had to say to myself this week, you know, for those couple of days, was like, fuck, what's going on? But then I had to remind myself, it's like, oh no, like this is, you know, this is a part of the process. Yeah. Totally normal for you to feel down for a little bit. Yeah. Totally cool. Like this is necessary.
Exactly.
Accept it because you know you're not going to feel like this forever. I think if you can understand, like when you're going through that type of kind of gloomy or maybe tired, I was just felt really tired and like drained.
Yeah, like you're in some kind of a funk.
Yeah, just a funk, man. Right. If you can just kind of tell yourself, it's like, well, I ain't gonna feel like this forever. Right. I'm not. Yeah. You know that. If you can reassure yourself, then you'll get back. And I feel you actually get back on faster the more I've been doing it. Exactly.
Yeah, because like fast, you do have to kind of have a little bit of respect for those negative times that come along. You know, I've said this before. Is that like, you know, you've got to find as much beauty in, you know, the rising sun as a completely destroyed, burned forest, you know, because they both have just as much beauty, you know, like the rising sun, yes, that's a gorgeous thing, you know what I mean? And you look out there and, oh my God, it's beautiful, you take a minute, you soak it all in, and it's an amazing opportunity to see that sun rising up, you know? But then you've also got to be able to, like, find that same beauty in a great tragedy, you know? Oh, a forest fire burned down an entire forest. Yes, that's a devastating, horrible thing. But, I mean, think about the amount of life that can bring from a new beginning, you know? You've got to be able to see the beauty in that negative moment, you know? And, like, that's kind of my biggest thing that I think I've overcome this past year, is that, you know, when those negative moments do come, like, to kind of respect them, you know? Like, respect them the same way you respect those amazing opportunities that come your way.
Yeah, man. Because that's the operating system of nature.
Exactly. You know,
Mother Nature, that's the operating system. Shit's going to look nice.
You know, you've got the good and the bad.
Yeah, you're going to have those hurricanes. You're going to have those forest fires. You're going to have those tornadoes. Like, that's all Mother Nature regardless. It's natural. Yeah. Just like what we go through every single day when we wake up and we got to go on about our daily life. So
yeah, you're going to have your goods and you're going to have your bads, but you got to be able to respect those bads. You got to know that it will end. A good will come. Yeah. You know, for every negative moment, there's an equal positive moment that will come its way.
If you want it, and if you're searching for
exactly, because you could essentially sit in that negativity and be like, oh well, shit sucks, poor me, and you could sit there. You know, like I know quite a few people that just, you know, sit in that funk and they're just like, oh no, poor me, the world is terrible, you know, oh my god, and it's like, yeah, dude, the world is rough, but you got to be able to know that, like, it will end. It will come to an end, you know, just have a little bit of patience, you know, and that also gets me to, like, one of my notes is just patience. I find that is one of the most difficult things that
it's heavy, bro.
It is not what you could consider a fun thing to do, man. Oh, man, just to have patience and shit, you know?
Fuck, dude, hell yeah.
Sometimes you just...
Hell yeah.
Sometimes you want to see that outcome instantly, you know, you want to have it right in front of your face, and you gotta wait, you gotta have that patience, you know, that's definitely something that, god damn.
We're a microwave society now, bro.
Right? I like that, a microwave
society, bro.
Yep.
Put fucking just click start. You got your 30 seconds. It's good.
Yeah, it'll be there in just a second. You know, that instant gratification, man.
What made you ponder about the patience then?
Well, you know, it's been throughout the week that, like, you know, it goes back to, like, this reality check thing, you know, because like I've had that happen to me this week too, and like it was a shitty time, but then, like, once it cleared up, like I was just, you know, mentioning before we started recording, is that that Friday came around and just, like, the vibe changed at the end of the day. Like 4 o'clock, I'm not kidding you, bro. 4 o'clock, and like everybody just had a different attitude. Like I remember, like, walking up to one of my coworkers and I was like, dude, that was a weird reaction. I was not expecting that. You know, one of the other guys came up and was just, like, happy as hell. I was like, what? You know, and it just, like, set for this weird tone. But I was just like, man, this week has been weird. the vibes have been really off, you know, and then just like all at once, it was good, you know. I just like had to wait and just kind of grind through it, and then just it all paid off like all in 1 second. I was like, wow, you know, and that made me think. I was like, man, I almost had a Monday, Tuesday, I had like almost a poopy pants mentality because I was like, damn, bro, this is pissing me off, you know. And then like Friday,
I figured this shit out, goddammit. What's going on,
right? You know, and then Friday comes around, I was just like, wow, man, I just had to like wait that one out almost, you know, because some problems you can't just like tackle. Sometimes you just gotta let it run its course. And like I was just like, wow, man, patience, dude. That's a bitch sometimes. You know, sometimes
dude,
you just gotta wait.
Damn, patience will slap you in the nuts
every damn time,
like
bro.
A backhand slap to the nuts. Sometimes ain't no fun. Just knuckles and everything. Bro.
Yeah,
God damn that shit. It will, man. Like all honesty, like you know, like that's a damn agonizing comparison, but it really can. It can slap you in the fucking face, nuts, whatever, fill in the blank, because it definitely holds you back. You're like, what? Like it's hard to just be patient about so many things.
Yeah,
bro.
Especially if something's frustrating you. I find,
dude.
If you're getting frustrated, like, oh man, it's the most difficult thing to just like stop and have patience, you know, because you're already frustrated. You're like worked up. You're like, oh my god, dude, this thing just needs a fucking end.
It makes it worse.
It makes it so much worse, you know, and you've got to like stop yourself and be like, no, let yourself be frustrated and just let it run its course, you know, because once it ends, it's going to be good. But you just got to be frustrated. And oh my god, I hate frustration, dude. Because then it gets you like fucking shit up, you know? It makes you rush stuff, and then you're just like, dude, I don't care anymore, you know? You hit that fuck it button and you're like, whatever, dude. It sucks.
You definitely also have to be able to slow down in the grind. Like,
exactly.
That's the thing. And that's honestly, that'll lead me to my other point, which is going to be on the topic right now after this, is like the group suffering. So I'm going to lead into that with this, is basically, literally, I told you I had this weird week. Yeah. You know, my tattoos, I felt like I was rushing them too. Like I wasn't patient with them. Yeah. And that's really changed the past couple of days, just taking notes and just really just being calm about my shit.
Slowing down.
Yeah, care about the art, don't care about the money. That's what it can happen sometimes. And so I wake up Friday morning, because Friday the 13th just happened, and at the shop it was gruesome.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, like, bro, I started tattooing at 9 a.m.
Okay.
I did not stop tattooing until 1 in the morning.
Woo!
Bro, like,
that's a busy day, man.
It was a grind. I mean, a fucking... a goddamn guillotine slice to the fucking nuts again. Right. But no, honestly, like, bro... but what I did notice is, like, I woke up, I got my mind in the right headspace. Okay. I got prepared, and I read a little bit of something from David Goggins. I'm like, today the goal is take some fucking souls.
Right on.
And, you know, and it all goes back to, like, you have to look and feel and be your best, whether you want to or not. Yeah. When everyone feels like shit, probably.
Oh, absolutely. You know, real quick, just kind of going on to, you said take souls. So, so for the individuals who have no idea what that is, what is a quick little rundown of taking someone's soul?
As described by David Goggins, taking souls is like...
it's a powerful tool.
It's super powerful if you use it. Because you're not necessarily trying to take, like, hurt anyone. Yeah. What really is a mind game you're playing with yourself. They don't know you're playing it, and they don't need to know. And it's more like, oh, hey... you can be basically, and I'm going to put it like this. I saw that everyone was tired that Friday the 13th. Like, 7 p.m. came around, we still had hours to go. Yeah. You know, I had hours to go. Right. And I could see it on the other artists' faces. I could see it on, like, the other apprentice, the new one. She just showed up. Like, God bless her soul, dude. She was fucking kicking ass. Like, the other artists, they were all kicking ass. And I could just see it. I'm like, well, this is my time to make a motherfucking statement. Right. Whether they want to or not. And so I just kept it up. I kept being loud. I kept being like, yo, we're gonna fucking get this shit. Vámonos.
Like, keep that energy up.
You gotta keep it up. The artists and other people just look at me like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, yeah, I just took your soul. Right. Because we're like, my life, where your life ends, mine begins. Right. You have no energy, I will, so that I can give you more energy. And that, I felt it came out because everyone was having a good attitude about it regardless. Like, it wasn't that they didn't, like, they were fucking on it, bro. All of them. The piercers, the artists, down to the fucking clients were cool. Yeah. Making sure the vibe was kept up. And I know I had to play a vital part in making sure the day went well and successful by keeping the energy up. Whether they knew it or not. Yeah. And when I would exclaim and be loud, and people would kind of look at me and be like, but they know. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It almost like, yeah, I just took your soul.
Exactly.
I'm bringing it. So
yeah, taking someone's soul. Like if In Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That's kind of where it describes the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's basically like it's a game you play with yourself.
Yeah, they don't know you're playing it.
To push yourself to that like that greater level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like if you're performing with somebody, let's say you're running side by side with them. You both are struggling. You both are doing the same damn task. But when you make a point to just like push past them, you're not like crushing them. You're not hurting them.
You probably did.
You probably did because like they look at you and they're like, "What the fuck, bro? This guy just went extra hard. Like, how am I supposed to keep up with that?"
Yeah,
that's taking someone's soul.
Yeah.
Because like you outperformed them. You did it all in your own mind. You didn't tell them, "Oh, I'm gonna take your soul." You didn't do that. It was all something you did to yourself.
To give yourself energy.
To give yourself that fuel to push past that little. That, oh man, I'm tired zone. That's what I use it for, especially like when you're tired, you start slowing down. You're like, oh man, here it comes. This is shitty. You just start outperforming somebody. Take their fucking soul, dude, man. And like that is gonna fuel you, and you're gonna push past because in your mind you're like, dude, I just fucking did that. I just crushed that. I took their fucking soul, and in their mind they know none the wiser. It's an extremely powerful tool. Yeah. It can be dangerous at points. You can do it with the wrong person.
You can rub people off.
Oh god, dude. Yeah.
You really can.
It's a dangerous little weapon at times, but for the most part, it is extremely powerful, and it's just it's one of those things.
And I recommend anyone to kind of look into it. Look up David Goggins. Look up Taking Souls. Look up just being your best. And then that also too was like, if I didn't take someone else's soul, if they saw me high energetic, it's like. We were all in there, and this is where it goes to group suffering. It's like we were all in the shit together. Yeah. There's nothing more awesome and barbaric, I would say, than seeing someone like get broken down and then built back up. And that's what we were essentially doing. Yeah. We were tired, but we knew we still had to push and push and push. And like, if you keep that energy up, like there's something about like suffering together as a group. Yeah. And then coming out of it like,
it brings you together.
Like just blossoming out like a fucking fresh flower at the beginning of spring, dude. Right. Fucking shit. That shit's awesome. Right. And so like, it's suffering, man. That's something also like you gotta invite all the time, and you gotta be okay with like, hey, I'm gonna be tired. Yeah. I'm gonna be hungry. I'm gonna be hurting. I'm not gonna feel good. So the fuck be it. Right. Because where I'm trying to get to, it's gonna require such a thing. Exactly. It's gonna require such agony and pain. Whatever makes me feel like shit at that time. In the long run, I have to be able to see myself and envision yourself after the fact. Yeah. Pulling through that shit.
Exactly. We've said it many times, but that is probably, it's definitely a barbaric philosophy, that just to suffer is going to make you grow. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, a lot of people, it's not for them, all right? I'm going to say that right now. This very barbaric mentality, it's not for everybody, but it truly does give results. If you are in a funk right now, if you are just dealing with some shit, go out and suffer. Make yourself fucking hurt, and I promise you will feel better when you're done. When your body, like, there's like emotional drained, being drained emotionally, and then there's physical drained, and like they're hard to compare, because like you can be at work and you can be emotionally drained from just all kinds of bullshit throughout the week, and you could just feel like shit by the end of the week, and your body could be perfectly fine, and then there's emotional or the physical drain where you just went out and performed your heart out, and like I find that like when I drain my body to the point where I'm just exhausted, I feel totally like blissful, happy. Oh, yeah. Like I just feel great.
Yeah. Someone can throw shit your way like, I don't give a fuck.
You were saying this even like last week, you were like, after one of your marathons, you were like, yeah, I had a stressful conversation, but I was so fucking tired that I wasn't even angry, You were just like, dude, I was happy about it almost, because when you drain your physical body to that point, like, what's gonna hit you? You're fucking tired. You're drained. You just exerted all of your energy,
in a positive way.
In a very positive way. Your body. That's the only thing it has left is just to be. It's happy. You stopped moving. Your body is ecstatic that you stopped. You know what I mean? It's just a great little tool. I told somebody even recently. I was like, dude, if you're in a funk, go run. go run until you cry. I was like, because when you run and you finally just hit that wall where you're just crying, I was like, you are going to let some demons out, you know, like, there is no better feeling than running to the point where you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Yeah. And then you just keep running and you're just like, fuck it, dude. Like, I've been there. I've had tears come when I was running. I remember I was on a hike, bro, and I was like climbing up this thing, and I just remember I was looking around and there was nobody by me, and I just fucking like collapsed on the trail, and I just sat there and I shed a tear. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I was just like, I was broken, and then I was just like, well, maybe I'll just wait here, you know? And I was like, what the fuck? No way, man. So I got up and kept going, and that was an amazing hike, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like hitting that wall, it's kind of shitty, you know, because you do have that like emotional break where you just like, tears come out. You're feeling down, but then once you push past it, you just have this surge of energy come over you that just is unlike anything else. You know, I mean, there's serious power in pushing yourself past that
pushing yourself to exhaustion,
to just pure exhaustion. You know, if you could do that, if anybody can do that for somebody, push them in a position where you're just like, come on, and then just make it to where you're drained. Mm-hmm. That is like one of the most therapeutic things you could do. Mm-hmm. You know, especially if you're feeling in a funk, go drain yourself.
Yeah,
dude. That's my advice. There you go.
No, honestly, that's some sound advice, man. Right. You know, because you and I, we've hit the gym like a lot together, mm-hmm. and so you know, it's like, there were those days where, fuck, we didn't want to do it, but after it was like
such a good feeling.
Yeah, and you know, people in the gym be like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, man. I know I've taken people's souls at the gym, man. I know that they've come up afterwards and they're like, bro, that was nasty looking, and you're just like, yeah, it was, dude. It sucked.
Yeah, it's like that crazy motherfucker over there came up with that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, of course I did it. I might have done it a little bit slower, but I fucking did it.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, it's a good feeling, you know, but yeah, it sucks sometimes, you know. You got to push yourself into that shit.
Ooh.
Right on.
Definitely. It's got to be almost and you know what's really good is when you push to where like you have a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. I think you were talking about it. Yeah. You always talk about those breakthrough, like,
yeah, they're
like,
big.
Yeah, like or you talked about it last week, and I've had a couple of them too.
Right.
You know, even to the fact where like I'm just like, yo, my ancestors were talking to me, like, straight right. up fucking. Yeah. I remember like I always go back to that 50-mile race I did back in September. You know?
I remember you saying this. Yeah,
dude. I just remember, like, just going super deep, and I just felt like my ancestors almost speaking to me, like, yo, you gotta fucking keep going, bitch. Because, like, if no one else is, you gotta. And it's just like, you have those moments, man. Those moments are just like, hell yeah.
Right.
Like I figured something out about myself today.
Well, it's almost like you opened a door in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you push yourself and push yourself, and right when you think you can't push anymore, just like, boom. You just open a door and you're like, whoa, where did this all come from? You know, you just have that breakthrough.
Correct.
You have these realizations, you know, and I find that they come most commonly in times of great suffering. That's kind of why I'm like such a big fan of like suffer, you know. It's shitty. I'll be the first to say that, dude. It is downright shitty. But it really does show results. You know, when you're in those times where you're just stressed the fuck out and you just are exhausted, you do have these breakthroughs that come in, and you just like, when you're done and you're tired and you're sitting there, and there's always a moment, you've even said, like, when you're done running, you just sit there, you're panting, and everybody just leaves you alone. You know, they don't mess with you, they don't talk to you, you know, they just, like, know that you're in a zone right now, so just let them be, you know? And everybody's always got that. I find it, especially after running, I sit in a chair, and I'm exhausted, I'm breathing heavy, and you just kind of take a minute and ponder all the things that you thought about, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially... Take the fucking headphones out.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to music. Don't have something going. Like, just be with yourself and your own thoughts while you run. And when you get done, you're gonna ponder shit. You know, you're gonna be like, wow, dude, yeah, I did think about that. You know, I broke through here, you know, and you're gonna have, like, the moment of, like, reflection after this big exertion, you know.
Do you want to give an example of something you've thought about before while you're running, then you, like, went out and kind of...
Right, well, I mean, like, I know the last time, kind of what I was thinking about was... You know, I was aiming for 5 miles, okay?
Yeah.
And I pushed myself to 10, dude. I doubled the amount of miles that that was my goal. 5. Dude, if I could do 4 or 5, I was like, I'm going to be happy. I got to 5. I was like, fuck that, dude. I could keep going. And I just kept on going, doubled that shit. And I remember I hit this spot where, like, I started to get this cramp. I was just like, oh man, dude, this is coming to the end, you know, like,
oh, dude,
just that, oh man, you know all too well, you know,
yeah, bro.
and like I just hit that spot, and I remember I just like had this breakthrough where like David Goggins talks about this cookie jar where you store away the positive or even negative moments of your life. You put that shit in a cookie jar, and when you're in a time of suffering or something, you open that cookie jar up in your mind, you pull something out, and you gain energy from whatever event it was.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how much of the badass you are.
Right, you know, and you use that as like a little pick-me-up. You know, you eat a little cookie, you're going to feel good.
Yeah.
And I broke into that. And I remember, like, you know, going through all these big events that I've done in my life, and I just got fuel from it. And it just, like, fueled me. It pushed me and kept me going. And I was able to just gain energy from, like, God knows where, dude. Just that cookie jar. And I remember, like, that was a big thing, too, that I remember sitting there. And I just was like, wow, man, that was cool. You know, I got to use this power that I've read about. And I just, like, right on command. I didn't have to, work for it to be there. Or, like, ponder. I just was like, all right, I got a cookie jar. I know it's in there. I've got all these things that's in my cookie jar. And I just took out a cookie, used that shit, and boom, got fuel from it.
Things that you've overcome,
and
things that you've gone through that kind of but definitely made you feel like shit.
Yeah,
you know, and everything in between.
Yeah, because everybody's got moments of highs and lows.
Yeah,
and you know, you wanna. Some people try and like forget their lows. Oh man, I was in a shitty spot, and it's like, no, man, use that as fuel.
Yeah,
like yes, you overcame that. You know, like. Especially what is so super common in the day is like depression. That's big, man. Everybody gets these moments of just pure depression, just darkness.
Almost all self-diagnosed at like a lot. It feels like sometimes,
right? Yeah,
not because there is clinical depression.
Absolutely,
for sure. Like that's real, man.
But even normal depression, I think that shit's real. It bites up on people and it puts you in a funk and just drains you of all energy. You know. But a lot of people they overcome depression and like they fly past it and then they look back like, oh God, that was such a horrible time in my life, and it's like, yes. That was rough, but you overcame it. And that right there is a cookie that you dealt with it. You went through it, you know? Yeah. Like, yes, that was shitty, but you were able to you were able to pull yourself out of that dark place and put you where you are today. Yeah. You know, and there's huge amounts of power in that. Like, it's a negative thing, but you can use that as energy, you know? Yeah. So, like, I look back and shit that I went through. Dude, I went through that. You know, I don't look back and be like, oh man, I wish I could change that about myself because, whatever, it was rough. It's like, no, I look back and I'm like, man, that made me who I am today. I wouldn't change it for anything, you know, because that suffering allowed me to learn and grow and become who I am today. And I love who I am today, man. I'm fucking comfortable. As you fucking should. Absolutely. Damn. So I look back and I'm like, no, man, I wouldn't change that for nothing, dude. Like, it was fucked up. But damn, you know, I did that shit.
Damn, am I grateful that I went through that shit.
Exactly, you know, and absolutely. I think if more people had that mindset towards negative shit that happens to them, they'd be way more powerful. So, like, put that shit in your cookie jar. Oh, yeah. I did that. I learned this from that, you know. Negative shit has got genuine power, just like positive shit. When you do something great, we did Ben Lomond's Peak. Mm-hmm. That was a big hike, you know. That was no walk in the park. Man.
I'm just side note, God, that was fucking awesome.
I cannot wait. I
love that shit.
but that was a big hike.
Gorgeous.
I count that as a cookie because we knocked that shit out of the park. Mm-hmm. We got to the very tip of that mountain and got to look out. And just that, like, moment of just, like, of bliss, you know, where you just, like, you didn't have words, you know, it was beautiful. I remember, like, thinking back and just looking out as far as the eye could see. The butterflies were flying around up in the air. The wind was just the air was clear, you know, it was an amazing thing. We suffered just to see that pure, blissful beauty.
And what I absolutely loved about it was the benevolent vibe from all four of us, because there was a couple of us. That
group suffering,
but also that tribal, you know, like
unity
together,
almost,
you know, and that also like leads me to like we just right now, before I told you, I had this like thought in the gym. I was working out hard as fucking gym, you know, listening to some badass dubstep, dude. I'm like, yo, this shit, because Excision got canceled. Damn.
Sad damn day.
Oh, bad day. I really want to go like just because you know we've been to these events and I really want to get into this because it's just like a lot of people. They probably look at raves or those EDM dances and stuff that we go to. They look at it like maybe in a certain in a very small box. They look at it through this little peeping hole. It's a door. Like, open it up and see, hey, take a look in there. Maybe you have fun.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. It's not all drugs. And yeah, people are on drugs.
Absolutely.
You know, you go in there, you're going to be smelling. There's a distinct smell of weed in a concert versus outside.
100%.
And you know, it's like, damn, that's that concert weed. Yeah, that's that dank. Well, you smell it each time.
That musty human sweat smell mixed with the weed. And just,
Yeah, making that dubstep musty again. Al Ross, you badass. Loved you.
Absolutely.
But there's this thing though I love. It's just and for me it's dubstep. Maybe trance is for other people.
Right.
Maybe house music. But I know for you and me
metal,
particular,
rock and roll, whatever your flavor is.
Correct.
Yeah.
For you and me particular, it's the headbanging community.
Right.
And you know, I get the weird looks at the gym. Like I heard some badass music today, and then before we started, we had a little headbang session to get the energy flowing. And and I want to have your take on this in a second because I think it's so important to touch base on like almost this tribal dancing that goes on there. Like people get the wrong idea of like, oh, I'm gonna go there and it's just drugs and I'm gonna get fucking poked with some shit, or it's just some stupid shit like music.
Right.
But it's like when you go there and you're in a group with people all together and you're like, hey, we are here together because we are all interested in this music and we love to come here and just dance our asses off and just bang our heads and just like, you know, there's this energy, this kind of this flow, and it makes you happier.
Right.
I feel so like after I'm done with one, I feel so happy. Like it's almost, and it's kind of sad when you're done, but it's just like I knew like, oh man, you know what that's like. You know that tribal like me. You meet. You can be next to a stranger, someone you've never met before.
Yeah.
But you can look at that person, grab their hand in unison, and just like. And just rage out together and just feel a part of this community. I think that's what's missing sometimes. It's like, it might not be dubstep for everyone, but I really do think there needs to be this tribal, like, yo, go dance with people. Get your body moving.
Absolutely.
Like, there's just something about this energy and flow. And I want to have your take on, like, how do you see the whole dubstep or just dancing, tribal dancing, you know, through your eyes, through your view, you know?
Okay, so, like, I think back when I hear like tribal dancing, the first thing that comes to my mind is like Native Americans. They would do this around a campfire before they would do like hunts. If they would go hunting or they would, you know, a great battle or a war, you know, they would come together and they would have this big tribal dance. They would pump up their energy, and then the next morning they would use this energy and just go and do whatever it is that they got to do, you know? So like I look at it like kind of like a modern tribal dance sort of, you know, we go and we rage out. And yeah, you're surrounded by hundreds, thousands of people that just are all there for the same purpose. You know, you walk in the door and you just feel this sense of like friendship come over everybody. Like, I mean, very seldomly do you walk in and just like see somebody who's just in a shitty mood.
Correct.
You know? You don't walk into it. I mean, if they're in a shitty mood, bro, there's a legitimate reason for that. You know, I mean, like, for the most point, you walk into a rave and like you could just the amount of like connections I've made with genuine people that I didn't even get their names, like just genuine connections where I was just like, yo, dude, this guy right now is my freaking friend. You know, like it is just it's great. You know, where you can just go in and you feel this unity. And you can like go in and you dance, exactly, and you headbang and you rage and you just let the energy out. You know, you just go in there because I use them almost like therapy. You go to a rave and you just get out all the negativity, all the shit, dude. You just rage it out to where you're physically exhausted. By the end, you're like on your way home and you almost don't. You're at a loss for words, you know, because you feel this weird like bliss come over you where you're just you're just like drained. You know, you feel just pure almost, you know, where it's just like a reset button. And you do get to go in there and you get this tribal dance going on, you know, where some people dance, you know, like the more raves I go to, the more comfortable I am, just like moving your body and dancing, you know, because at first you're like, oh man, I don't dance.
I remember seeing you at the first, like the first one, you were pretty exhausted by the second day, you had almost no energy. Come few raves later, the ones we've gone to, Snails, dude, there was a point where you had to come up to me and you touched my head up against mine, like, you got this, bro. I'm like, fuck yeah, I got this shit. Let's go.
Right,
like, I could just see this change because it's been pretty cool. I just had to put that in.
Exactly.
It's cool seeing you evolve. Along this journey too.
You know, and that's another fun little point. You know, is that you do kind of get a little bit more comfortable in your skin. Your confidence grows. You get a little bit more comfortable. My big thing is like at first, the first rave I went to, it was like being compact with that many people, it's a little awkward at first, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we've brought people to raves where you're like, you look over at them and they're just kind of like, what the fuck, you know, like, I don't know what to do, and you're just like, man, do whatever. It doesn't fucking care. You know? Like, last rave we went to, man, we had shit on our face. We were all like marked up.
Oh yeah, with like Indian tribal.
Yeah, Indian tribal.
People
markings,
does that, bro. People are like, yo, I like.
Yeah,
what does that mean? We're like, we're just warriors, bro.
This is our warrior pact, man. You know, we were just having a good damn time, and it's fun, man. Raves are great, and coming together and just like raging out in those moments. It's just such a powerful feeling. You know, it is like a reset button. And I think there's genuine, it fuels you. You know, there's genuine fuel behind doing your little, you know, your rage moments. We've been at parties, you know, where, you know, the dubstep comes on. Next thing you know, we're in there dancing. And then everybody else is dancing. And then the party is going, dude. And it's just like, you don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs.
Yeah.
You don't need something added to you to feel this powerful energy.
That's where I wanted to go next was because we do, and surprising, a lot of people that we have gone with, you know, when we do go, people ask us like, oh yeah, what do you take? We're like, we're sober.
Yeah. We're
sober the entire time.
Completely.
If anything, I have water and food.
Yeah,
that's energy, because like I've learned that on my races. If anything, it's almost hand in hand. It's like, oh, do you, you know, it's like I don't do the headbanging to stay in shape for the races. I do the races to stay in shape for headbanging.
Exactly.
And so I've learned almost crazy. Like I can transfer race nutrition and water and like how I deal with the race over to like one of those sessions where I love it sober now. Absolutely. Because I'm there for the music. I used to go for the drugs, man. Right. I remember it was like a problem almost. Like I just wanted to take drugs and just feel good and get with women and what like it was idiotic pursuit.
Yeah.
And the pursuit now is just that tribalism, how you say, and going sober and like I can go home and not be clenching my jaw and like still up because I got ecstasy.
Well, not only that, but like when you come home from a rave and you're under the influence of something, how much of that do you think you get to retain? When you're under the influence of, let's say weed, Molly, alcohol, you come back home and you're now dealing with the effects of what's in your system. Yeah. You don't get to think back of like, man, that was so, you know, therapeutic. I got to let that shit out. You know, now you're like coming back and, oh, fuck, now you got to deal with what you just did to your body. On top of what you just did to your body. You know what I mean? Like, because like, it's no small feat, dude. Bro. You go in there and you headbang, you're rubbing your neck already. Like, you know.
Oh, dude. It's like that phantom pain. Jesus Christ.
You know, you headbang, and when you headbang for 3 or 4 hours, your neck is gonna be fucked up for a couple of days.
Wrecked.
Just son. I mean, imagine sleeping weird times 10. Like, you know what I mean? So like, you just went and you just worked out like super hardcore. But then when you're under the effects of something, you're dealing with that too. Yeah. But when you go sober, you get to essentially take that as like a therapeutic moment. You get to enjoy the unity. You know, like the last time we went, we got to talk to a dude. We got to talk to a couple of dudes in between sets, and we got to like. I know there's one group of dudes we like came up, we were part of their picture, you know, their group picture, and they just like were best friends with us the rest of the night. I don't think I even remember any of their names. No, dude, not at all. It was like a group of like 6 dudes, and we were just like raging hardcore the rest of the night. Like it was so much fun. You know, we saw these guys later on in the rave, and they were like, dude, and they came up and gave us a big hug. They were like, oh my god, it's you guys, you know, and we were like, hell yeah, dude. And like, I'm glad that I was sober in that moment because I got to remember that. And that was fun. Yeah. You know, that was great. You know, and it's just now I don't want to go under the effects of anything because it's just too much fun being able to retain all of that.
Retain it and then just feel like I can go to bed after.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, I still got that like that ghost hearing of dubstep. It lasts for like 2 days where my ears are still hearing.
Your ears ring. Yeah, to this day, every now and then, like when my ears ring, I can just like hear that crunch of dubstep, you know? And I'm just like, woo!
Yeah.
And it's just them phantom pains, man. They just come in, man.
Those are really good times, bro. I'm glad I've been able to share those with you and
absolutely
share them with anyone. You know, if you know me, and I've seen you at a fucking headbanging like sesh. You know, shouts out to you. Right. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah, and if you know me and you don't know what I'm talking about, hit me up. Let's go.
Let us go.
Let's go.
We want to treat you.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be fun. You won't forget it.
No, it's not something you can't forget. Those are fun sessions, bro.
All right.
So, Yeah. What else do you have on your topic?
That's about it, my friend. I got this one right here that we could probably finish up with. It's a nice little question that we can ask. What do you prepare? How do you prepare yourself for doing something extremely difficult? Like if you know that a task is coming up and you know it's just going to be grueling and rough, kind of how do you mentally prepare yourself for undertaking something like that? You know?
Who, me personally?
Yeah.
So I think it all really depends, but it's almost kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I know I have a long day ahead of me, you know, if it's a race or like Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wake up, man, do the morning routine, but I go a little extra, which is like, you know, I meditate maybe a few more minutes.
Okay.
I definitely get in my head. I read a couple pages out of certain books, you know,
Right.
to get me prepared, which, you know, I'll list them like right now. It's like sometimes it's Enchiridion by Epictetus, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. I really like that book, and so like Can't Hurt Me. Sometimes the PMA effect.
That's got some good stuff in it too.
You know, on a side note, like you know, that PMA, dude, it's like
Positive mental
I know
attitude.
you've been listening to that book, man.
Yeah.
I always want to spread PMA, dude. Like PMA's huge, man. And that book, if you can get it by John Joseph, like I highly recommend it. More so the audiobook, just because he's awesome to hear.
It is so much fun, dude.
You know, if you have just if you can remind yourself to have PMA throughout, like, and I went back to PMA this week, man. I went back to PMA and be like, yo, I have to have a positive mental attitude what I'm going through, but preparing myself mentally, I have to do certain practices, you know, and I definitely sometimes listen to like, oh God, what was it called? Sarim Kavacham, like the Hare Krishna kind of like protective over.
Yeah.
You know, I always find when I do that before a long run, like I feel protected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I pray sometimes to whatever's listening. You
Absolutely.
know, God, Allah, Krishna, fucking
whatever's
Buddha,
out
fill in
there.
the blank, Dan Pena. No, and it's cool. I got into a talk about prayer with one of my friends because she's like a big believer in God.
Okay.
Now, she wasn't before. She had told me the story of how like she was getting kind of high one time, and that it's crazy because she didn't believe in God before. She grew up in a religious family, but then she was smoking weed one time, and she went out and like she saw a church while she was high, and then she just started believing again. And then instantly her life got better.
Right.
And see, that's why I can't rag on the whole religion thing too much either, because she's not super religious, but she does believe in God.
Yeah.
She has a higher power she believes in.
Exactly.
So, and she knows and expects and almost believes and has faith that that particular thing that she does believe in will give her strength, and then you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it in people regardless. You can't bag on someone for what they believe in if it's really benefiting their life.
Exactly.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like I did that before. I bagged when I stopped believing in God, and I would bag on people for like believing in religion or something.
Right.
It's like, well, then who's the real one filled with poison, and who's really getting ahead?
Yeah.
So and so like prayer, dude. Like there's all these little practices, and I have to get your mind prepared. How you talk to yourself
That's
on the
huge.
fucking daily, bro.
That is huge.
If you tell yourself you're ugly, people will call you ugly. People will tell you ugly. And on the side note too, and if you think you're handsome, I tell myself I'm handsome, bro.
Yeah.
Or I tell myself I'm a warrior. And some people will put me down for it. Like, oh, you think you're hot shit, whatever.
Right.
It's just like, well, okay, bitch, thanks. I'm comfortable in my skin. Are you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, why are you taking off your shirt? Why are you wearing such a tight shirt? I'm like, because I feel comfortable in my skin. I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
I could do what I want. Exactly.
I could do what I wish if I have, like, if I feel a certain way, like, about myself. And and I have the right. It's almost weird because it's just like, you hear it. And I was thinking about this on a side note, too. When you tell yourself, or it's almost that self-loathing, like, you know, guys will do it more for girls. Like, girls will be like, oh, I'm so ugly. And, like, guys will be like, no, you're pretty, you're pretty.
Right. Yeah.
But then if a girl says all of a sudden, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, then we shame them. It's like, oh, you think you're hot shit?
Yeah,
you think
what
you're
the
so...
fuck, you know?
It's like, bro, what? So what was
Right.
she getting? You can overdo it, believe me. You
Yeah,
really can
absolutely.
overdo it. It's like, I'm so beautiful, I'm better than everyone. All right, now you're just being an egotistical bitch. But it's
Exactly.
like, I am.
That
like,
ego comes in.
But it's all about tone and
Yeah.
body language. Just like if you're being humble about it, like, I am beautiful and I feel beautiful.
Well, it's
I'm
like those
allowed to.
daily affirmations. You told me, like, get yourself daily affirmations.
Yes.
Tell yourself these things in the morning. That if you're shitty with money, and you tell yourself all the time, oh God, I'm so bad with money,
Yeah.
you will continue to be bad with money.
Yes.
If you look at yourself in the mirror every morning and say, no, I can be good with money,
Yeah.
I'm good with money, you'll eventually be good with money.
Yeah.
You know, you essentially manifest the world you want to have. You know, if you wake up every morning, oh my God, I'm so ugly, poor me. You know, it's like, yeah, you're gonna live in a funk. You're going to have some shit being wrong with you. But if you wake up every morning and look at yourself in the mirror and say, no, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I can do hard things. You know, if you say these things over and over and over, you know, essentially you'll believe. It's like a little hack, you know. You will believe yourself, and by believing in yourself, you will manifest it to be real, you know. So those daily affirmations, they're huge. I've been doing them, you know, like look at yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're done, be like, no, dude, you can do these hard things. You can do this, you know. It's not... You believe the negative shit. Everybody does.
Yeah.
If you said something negative about yourself right now, that's because you believe it. Mm-hmm. You know, just the same way as believe positive things. Mm-hmm. Say those positive things. People find it as like a coping mechanism, or it's funny. You know, that they can talk shit about themselves. Oh man, I'm not, you know, I'm ugly, you know, and it's like, oh, the world would be better without me or whatever. And like sometimes, yeah, people use that as comedy.
The fuck
it's like,
up. You sad.
You, dude. You know, it's like, man, why don't you say a joke about how good you are? You know, like, you know, why don't you try and lift the world up? You know, give compliments, shit like that. You know, help people raise their vibe up. You know, I find that is so huge. If I give somebody a compliment, like, I can just see their whole energy just lighten up. You know, I said this at work recently. I told somebody, I was like, man, that looks good. Good job. All your hard work, it really paid off. This is very good. Good on you, man. And, like, his whole energy just, like, changed. He had a smile on his face. I know he walked away feeling good. You know, and it's like, dude, it's like this guy's never gotten a compliment before, you know? And it's just like that little bitty compliment that I could give that person, it helped raise them up, you know? Because then they can walk away and be like, hell yeah, I did do a good job, you know? And then they'll believe it, you know? And then it's not going to be like, oh, man, I don't know what I'm doing, whatever, fuck this shit, you know? It's like, all right, whatever, dude, but you did do a good job, you know? And it helps them.
It can help. It can help. You can like that spark though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think those daily affirmations are huge, man.
Yeah, huge.
You know, so if you're gonna like, you know, if you're gonna undertake something big, get yourself mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
Don't go in there with some negative ass attitude. You know, David Goggins says this poopy pants attitude or one thing, and you just feel all shitty and you're bitchy and you're just like, oh no, poor me. And it's like, nah, man, don't approach it with that attitude. Go in there like you're gonna accomplish it. Tell yourself you're going to accomplish it. If you're going in for a job interview, before you go in, say, hell yes, I got this. And keep telling yourself that. And then in that interview, you're going to have confidence through the roof. You know, like just continually say these things to yourself, and it will set you up for greatness every time.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm huge in that too.
Right.
You know, and write things on your walls, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been
put it somewhere where you'll see it every fucking day.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to doodle it all up. Scribble something on a piece of paper and just tape that shit up,
bro.
Right?
It doesn't fucking matter. There's no system to it.
No way.
Create your own system.
Exactly.
Eventually, you can. That was my thing with reading some like self-help books and stuff. Yeah, they're great. They're cool, but like
some of them got some good info.
Yeah, some of them are fake as fuck now.
Some of them are fake as fuck.
Yeah, fake as the day. That is well, just fake. But
just fake. It's just fake.
It's just fake. Hella fake. But you know, eventually you got to create your own system too. Because what necessarily works for me won't necessarily work for you.
Exactly.
You can take some things from me, like I take things from you.
Right.
But ultimately, you create your own system to like dictate how your life goes.
Yeah, everybody's different, you know, and like what works for one person may not work for another. You know, like it goes back to like this barbaric idea that we live by. You know, that's not going to work for everybody. No. You know, suffering, it might make you worse. Yeah. It might hurt you in the long run. You've got to figure out your own system.
But, you know, for the most part,
absolutely,
suffering is definitely the key to one of the keys to growth.
Absolutely.
Huge.
I agree with that. 100%. And I think everybody should push themselves to suffer at least a little bit. Even if it's like
a little bit.
A little bit, dude. I mean, you don't have to go and like destroy yourself every day. You know, like that might wind up hurting somebody. You know, whatever, dude. Yeah. But figure out a system that works for you. Take information, continue to read, learn, expand your mind, you know, and go forth and figure it out, man. I mean, we're all trying to figure out this life all ourselves, you know? And I mean, like, take what you can from others and apply it where you can in your life. And you will, there's no there's no wrong answer to this. You know what I mean? The only wrong answer is sitting on your ass doing nothing.
Yeah. And and there's no wrong way to do a day. The only wrong way to do a day is to think like I'm doing it all wrong.
Right.
You know?
If you waste it and you don't do anything with it, you did it wrong. 100%. You know?
Yeah. So I guess I'll leave it because I had someone sitting in the chair. It was one of your friends. She was like, "Hey, I have some recommendations. You don't have to take it from me." It's like, no. Let's take them. So like obviously we talked about suffering, and we also talked about like affirmations.
Yes.
See, so I'll you know I'm not afraid. So like here are some of my affirmations. You know, and one of them for the longest time I didn't think I was creative.
Right.
So one of them is like I tell myself every day, but at the beginning of the day, at the end of the night is I am super creative. Another one is I am handsome,
right.
And another one is like I'm great at saving money. Those are a couple like off my list. I won't name them all. I don't have to.
Yeah.
So I want to invite the listeners or viewers. It's like, what are your affirmations? If you don't, why don't you write them down? I post mine right next to my desk, so I have to look at them all the time. In the morning.
Manifest them, make them real.
Just write them down. Like honestly, it's not real until you write it down. Even with your goals too.
Yeah.
So write it all down. And so I want to ask the listeners, like, hey, if you don't have affirmations, go write them down. If you do have some, what are yours? And then, you know, and then another one is just like, how do you invite suffering? Like for the listeners, how do you invite suffering every day into your life? What will you do to kind of push yourself? Maybe it's like, hey, go to the gym 3 times a week in the morning, like really early. Or maybe, hey, I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to go read for an hour, or I'm going to go draw for an hour. I'm going to go practice my musical instrument for an hour.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go whatever else for an hour. Just put down the phone, the tablet, whatever.
Get a little suffering in.
Yeah, get a little bit of suffering and whatever because suffering is relative.
Yeah.
Suffering is totally relative.
Yeah, because what you suffer with, I might not, and what I suffer with, you might not. You know, it's
I don't work on cars like you do, so I don't know what that type of suffering is. But you know, it's like you're working on your car.
Yeah,
you could definitely take an hour of your day instead of like probably bullshitting on your phone.
Right.
I'm not saying you do or anything like that. I'm saying, but you know what I mean. It's like to go suffer for an hour and go work on your car. Same thing for me. I can take an hour or two. And go work on my craft, draw.
Right.
Really, really get in and find out how to really work, do it. So, yeah.
I like that.
Correct.
So what are some basic goals that you got throughout this week? Just kind of some, or last week. What are just some daily goals?
And then daily goals. Yeah, what are your daily goals? For sure, we got to ask them that.
Right.
One of them was take souls on Friday.
That was good. That's good.
And then take. Sometimes like I said, I keep them for 2 days. So it was like take souls. I took souls from yesterday and Friday.
Yeah. Well, see, you said one that I loved it. Is compliment like a motherfucker, dude.
Yes.
I love that. And I know that you even said that you got some flack for it, and I like that because not everybody compliments, and like. And you made mention that somebody was like, oh, but what's a compliment if it's not from a genuine place? And it's like, okay, but you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because like, it may not be genuine in that moment, but you've got to get in the habit of complimenting people. So, compliment them on anything. Yo, your hair looks good today.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a very good job. Whatever, dude. Just compliment.
That jacket is tight,
right? I mean, like whatever, dude. Just give out compliments,
yeah.
And you will find that they do eventually become more natural and more sincere. But you got to get in that habit of doing those things. So I liked that. That was one of mine. Compliment like a motherfucker. I made a point to do that. I was giving out compliments left and right. I remember one dude was like, "Wow, you're really kissing ass today." I was like, "Hey, man." I just thought that was funny.
Oh fuck, bro, that's great. That's great.
Right?
People, I'm telling you, the fucking reactions you get from people sometimes, like, all right,
right?
Fuck me too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well. That was awesome, bro.
Right.
This was a good episode. I was supposed to have another guest on here, but I texted him last night. Frank, if you're out there, happy birthday from yesterday, bro. I want to have you on the podcast. And other than that, though, good episode with you. Always good.
Wonderful. I cannot wait for next week. It's always fun, man.
There's a little story I want to share at the end, though, just to wrap this up.
Okay.
And that is one time I was on this mushroom trip. This is like back in 2016, man. I was on this mountain. It was the first mountain peak I ever climbed. And we decided to take mushrooms in nature. Fucking brilliant idea. It was awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. But... and
in case you didn't know, that was an eye roll. That was funny.
Oh, fuck, dude. We got altitude sickness. We were tired. I don't know what happened. One of our dudes, though, I don't know what happened to him. His name was Torres. Fucking love that guy. He's just like, hey, man, I'm going to fucking feel great. I'm just going to go. And he just fucking took off the mountain. I'm like, God damn, Torres, slow down. And this dude and me, and it was just like 3 other of us. Myself, my back. Fuck, I'm all over myself.
Yeah.
All over this place. But it was myself and 2 other friends. Kinda, I just met this guy. One of them had the brilliant idea. He did not drink water. I'm gonna give him props. Fucking dude. I'll give him props for that. Did not drink water at all.
Woo!
Took a bottle of Irish Baileys on this fucking mountain. And just drank that on a 10,000 foot peak. Did not hydrate whatsoever.
That's a hardcore motherfucker right there, dude.
He was pretty negative.
Okay.
But you had some fucking cojones for that.
Right.
Us, we were all suffering though. We were tired.
Yeah.
And we get to this spot and like the mushrooms were not helping. I was really fucking high, dude. I was really high. I was like, oh,
Just
man.
tripping hard, man.
And at that point, we were going to call it. We're like, we're done.
Yeah, fuck this.
Whatever. And there's a guy that passed by. And the guy who's been drinking, he's just all like, oh, I don't feel shit. These mushrooms suck. Like, this is stupid. I'm like, fuck, man. This dude's just dragging us down.
All right.
And this guy walks by us, and he's just like, "Hey, you guys done?" We're like, "Yeah, we're done. We're pretty tired. Like, we're just gonna call it. We're good."
Yeah, we're turning back.
And this is a lot of people in life, bro.
Okay.
And myself included, where I was at that point. You know. He walks by. He's like, "Yeah, you guys done?" Like, "Yeah, we're done." He's like, "Okay." And he's walking away. And as he's walking away, he looks back at me, and he's like, "Hey, well, you're almost to the top, by the way. It would be a shame if you stop now." And he just kept going. And my buddy Brian Abreu and me, we just kind of sat there.
That was profound as fuck.
Bro, it was one of those lessons early in life that I had on mushrooms on a mountain. It was just it was perfect, cinematic,
mystical,
bro. And it was just like, you know what, that guy is fucking right. And the other guy's just like, what are you talking about? Why are you guys so positive? I'm like, fucking all right, grumpy shit.
All right.
But no, he's right. We're gonna make it up this mountain, and we did it slowly. We started hacking away at it, and we found our buddy Torres like sitting on a trunk. He's just sitting there on a tree trunk, like, Torres, what's up, dude? And we finally pulled out the snacks we ate, and we were like, fuck it, and I got this energy from it, and we all just took off, and we finally reached the mountain peak about a few minutes later, and
right on,
and I remember sitting up there and I cried, bro. I cried so hard, dude. I was just going through some shit in my life at that time. It was like things were changing. Like that was one of those real raw fucking moments,
big,
bro.
Pivotal moments.
Yeah, bro. Like where like everything hits you and you're like, damn, bro. And like, I can't believe I'm here right now with these awesome people, these dudes. Like,
major cookie in the cookie
jar.
jar.
It was just like my first mountain peak ever, and like, just like that moment, bro. And those moments is just like that's a lot of us in life. Is like I was so close to the top, I almost quit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Shit gets hard, dude.
Yeah, shit gets hard. It can get on you, bro. And like that's a lot of us in life. It's just like, yo, like if you're at a certain point where you're feeling like I'm about to quit, like don't just give in the towel yet. If you really have something you want to do, don't give in the towel just yet.
Push that extra little bit.
Because you could be that fucking close, bro, to just right there, that mountain peak.
So again, this mystical guy that just shows up while you're tripping. What is this line again that he says?
He goes, "You guys are done." I'm like, "Yeah, we're done." He's like, "All right." He's like, "Well," and he turns back and he says, "This is it. That was the moment, the eureka moment." He's like, "You're almost to the top. It would be a shame if you stop now." And that's it.
No truer words been spoken, man.
Correct. This is Herna.
This is Harris.
And this is
Power of 8 show, man.
Hey, we're gonna keep killing it.
Amen to that, man. We're climbing this mountaintop. No stopping now.
Affirmative. Roger the fuck that.
Roger that, man.
All right, bro.
All right.
See you guys next week.
See ya.